Now, for more on this, we're being joined by Major General Rajan Kochar, who is a defense strategic analyst, live from Dehradun. Sir, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Now, sir, I want to begin by asking you, of course, I mentioned the theme of this year's Republic Day is Viksit Bharat. As always, India is celebrating with the Grand Parade, which will also see the participation of the French Foreign Legion. What's your assessment of that?
In the French-Indo friendship, and we have a strategic partnership agreement with them. It was actually inked on 26th of January 1998. So it culminates into almost 25 years of a long-standing friendship with France. And President Macron is coming for the second time. He is going to be the chief guest on our Republic Day parade. If you remember, in 2019 also he was here. And a great deal of reciprocation was done because last year in the Bastille parade, 269 member tri-service contingent of the Indian Armed Forces took part in France. And President Modi was also given the Legion of Honor there. So it is a matter of great pride for both the nations to have this kind of strong bonds of friendship, especially the role in the Indo-Pacific. If we actually see India's role, France is going to be a great contributor to the might of the Indian Navy as well as the Indian Air Force. Recently, 26 maritime Rafale version aircrafts will be coming to India. 36 have already arrived, Rafale aircrafts with the Indian Air Force. And now with the Indian Navy, we are going to get that. Then I would also like to highlight here the Scorpion deal of the submarines. 3 Scorpions are going to be delivered to the Indian Navy. It was a long-standing requirement of the Indian Navy for the submarine fleet. And we have strong cultural bonds as well as partnerships in the cyber and space with the France. So I feel that today is a very monumental day in the history of Indo-French friendship. And I'm sure in times to come, these bonds will become more stronger.
Well, thank you so much for highlighting the strong partnership between India and France. I also wanted to talk about this. Now the parade will also see the participation of an all-women tri-service contingent marching down the Kartavya Path. Women pilots will also enthrall the audience during the flypast, representing Nari Shakti. What do you have to say about this?
This is one I would like to credit this achievement to our Prime Minister Modi, because the kind of participation we are seeing of women in the armed forces, and it's a landmark achievement that today we have commanding officers of units which are commanded by women. As a matter of fact, yesterday I visited a unit in Dehradun which was commanded by a colonel, a lady officer. And I could see the kind of command and control she had over the entire setup. So it is a great achievement. Nari Shakti, not only in words, but also in action we are seeing. And it will be evident today in 75th Republic Day parade, when you're going to see all the women contingent of all the 3 services. And apart from that, the pilots, the air show also, we are going to see women pilots in action. So I feel that the further teeth to the armed forces is being given by the women today. And during my service also, as a commandant and as a commanding officer, I had women officers under my command. And let me share experiences with you. that they gave the finest display of duty, dedication, and valor in whatever tasks they were entrusted with.
Sir, thank you so much for sharing your experience there. And also, I wanted to get your insights on the themes for this year, that is Viksit Bharat and Bharat Loktantra ki Matruka. What do you have to say about this?
There are two aspects to this theme, Viksit Bharat. It is freedom of democracy. Our country is a diverse culture, and we are able to live in harmony and peace. So that is one message which is going through across in today's parade. Second is Atmanirbhar Bharat. We have now made giant strides. If you would be aware that we have defense corridors now in Uttar Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. And for the first time, we are seeing strategic partnerships being initiated. AK-203 rifles are going to be manufactured in Amity. We have our own Vajra K9 self-propelled howitzer gun, which has been deployed in Ladakh. Prachand is another drone which has been manufactured by DRDO and is going to be showcased here today. Tejas Mark II has come a long way from Tejas Mark I, and today it competes as a stealth fighter which is capable of carrying out multitasking. So I'm just naming a few examples, and this theme, Chandrayaan 3, is also going to be showcased in today's parade. So this is also a very landmark achievement that we have been able to put our flag on the moon and shortly on the Mars. So it is it's a message to the world today through this parade. I believe it is a showcase of our own capabilities, our own power, and our own contribution to technology.
Right, sir. In fact, I was just going to come to this. I wanted to get your insights on the evolution of the Indian Armed Forces. Of course, as you rightly mentioned, this is the parade is where the forces showcase their might, and of course states also display their culture. We will see the Indian Army contingent leading the mechanized column of 61 cavalry, the Indian Navy contingent that will consist of 144 men, as well as the Indian Air Force that will comprise of 144 airmen as well. So what do you have to say about the evolution of the Indian Armed Forces?
A very good question that you've asked me, because we have been constantly evolving in terms of strategy, in terms of our warfare, and in terms of our doctrines. So today we see a scenario which is a 2.5 front war, as we talk about. And we see the capability of our Indian Armed Forces to be able to be there at line of actual control. So you can see the evolution of our armed forces. It was actually evident that a mobilization of more than 1 lakh troops was carried out in Ladakh over just about 2 months. It showed our actually evolution of our logistical might and the way we were able to transport our entire ammunition and our weapon systems in Ladakh and prevent any further incursions by the Chinese. So our forces evolved. I remember in 1981, when I was commissioned to the armed forces, we had this 7.62 mm SLR with us. Today, we are graduated to the Sigor rifles. We have graduated to the AK series of rifles, and we have our own rifle INSAS. So I'm just giving you a small example how the evolution of armed forces takes place over the years. And not only that, we have also increased in terms of our missile force. We are now coming with a rocket force. We have a cyber defense agency. We have an NTRO, which is one organization, and the Defense Intelligence Agency, especially after the Kargil war. And after the Subramaniam Committee report which came through, So these are all the signs of evolution, because you have to change with the changing times. Technology is something which has to be assimilated. We have artificial intelligence coming into the armed forces now. The trials of various equipments are actually taking place in mountains and deserts. So we as a force, I can tell you, being the fourth largest army in the world, we as a force have evolved over the years, and today we have the latest equipment with us. We have a mix of Russian as well as American equipment with us, and in times to come, I am sure we'll be able to manufacture this equipment within our own country.
All right. Well, Mr. Major General Rajan Kochar, thank you so much for joining us on World DNA with your perspective and your insights on this. It's been an enriching discussion.
Thank you very much.